thing on. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the New Orleans Jazz Museum. In cooperation with the National Park Service, we bid you welcome. The National Park Service's mission is protect, preserve, provide further education, and cultivate a further appreciation for our natural, cultural, and historic resources. Here today, we're going to celebrate one of our cultural resources by way of a music presentation. We're going to concertize for you, as well as at some point in time, we're going to open up for a question and answer and have a discussion. You can ask them anything you want. Without further ado, I want to present to you Mr. Steve Mazakowski on guitar. Brother Simon Lott on drums. And your vocalist for this evening, Miss Saskia Walker. Oh, by the way, I'm your resident bassist, Ranger Kerry Lewis. Now let's get to the program.
My lips, I want to lose them. Take my arms, I'll never use them. Your goodbye left me with eyes that cry. How can I go on, dear, without you? You took the part that once was my heart, so why not That was All of Me, written in 1931 by Gerald Marks and Seymour Simons, or Simmons. And up next, we're going to do another classic, Summertime, written by none other than Gershwin himself in the opera Porgy and Bess that was written in 1935. And this is the highlight tune from that opera. So as we can gather from that little nugget of information, jazz music, which Summertime has since become a jazz standard, comes from all sorts of different places, as we'll see throughout this set. This one specifically coming from an opera.
Angel
Thank you so much. Beautiful. We're keeping up with this theme of doing your real jazz standards. Brought to you by, minus me, the masters of jazz in New Orleans. I'm so honored to be on this stage with these incredible musicians. You are all so lucky to hear them right now. We're gonna play a tune called Honeysuckle Rose, written by Fats Waller in 1929. And as you can tell, this music is all from the late 20s, early 30s, and 40s, and it is still being explored today, even by young spring chickens like myself, who are only 22. And well, you know, it's just that good. 22? You're a spring chicken. You're a spring chicken. I'm sorry. 23. Every honeybee fills with jealousy when they see you out with me. I don't blame them, goodness knows you're my honeysuckle rose. y'all so much. I'm sure you're wondering, that was a lot of words for me to sing. And that's because this tune was originally composed by Charlie Parker, and as we all know, he's a saxophonist, so he wasn't writing lyrics to most of his tunes, and Eddie Jefferson, a notorious lyricist, wrote lyrics to this tune, and so they're all about Charlie Parker, and that's why. And he also wrote what we call in the biz a vocalise, which is what I did later on, apart from the melody. It's his note-for-note solo that Charlie Parker and then Miles Davis played on that track, but put lyrics to them. And so that's why they play a lot of notes. So it was certainly it was a lot of. Okay. I think we can take this time to sort of open it up for any questions you might have. Please to the actual masters of jazz music that are going crazy. And you can ask anything, about our park. Yeah, you're ready. No, so he asked if we're all park rangers. Actually, he's a wannabe. So actually, Carrie Lewis, our bass player, is the only resident park ranger, as you can tell by the emblem. And I'm an intern at the Jazz Park, and what we do for all of our shows, right, we have a Tuesday show every week here, and we hire professional musicians from around town to fill out the band, and every month or so it's a different group, and to change up the sound and to give everybody an opportunity to show their greatness. Yeah, does that answer your question? Any other questions? Yeah.
I'm really lucky to be here with Steve.
Yes. Just a comment for the people in the live stream. I have to repeat what everyone else is saying, but absolutely, it's an honor to be listening to Steve Mazakowski, everybody. Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, so that's a great question. He was asking what I'm doing in scatting. What does that mean, and how do you do it? I guess, a major part of jazz music, and its primal part, is the improvisational element, and how every tune is going to be played differently based on who's playing it and based on the hour of the day, and it's never going to be exactly the same, even if you're playing the melody, say. But we've gone to a point in jazz where we take choruses and a whole solo is dedicated to one instrumentalist at a time. And when it comes to the voice solo improv part, Louis Armstrong actually invented scatting. And he just forgot the words to its tune and started going doo-ba-doo-ba-beep-bop, And it is, you were asking about the syllables. I'm saying, is it actual words? No, it's all syllables. It's just random, skibadoo-bop-bop-dee-doo-doo-doo. Anything that sounds, alive, that's a good word, but anything that sounds like other instruments, mostly is what we're trying to imitate, the sound of a horn or the sound of a guitar or the sound, And it sort of, I think, goes the other way around, that a lot of instrumentalists try to imitate the voice, bending and whatever. So yeah, great question. Hot. Is anyone hot? Yeah. I am a vocal major at school. I think what got me interested into jazz was definitely, my surroundings, like anything. My parents are both very musical, and I grew up around listening to the likes of Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles, and just to name two. And so I'm very lucky in that you sort of grow up listening to that sort of music. We weren't necessarily listening to jazz, but that's, I guess, what you can now go to school for. You still can't go to school for Motown, though, someday. And kind of, maybe somewhere. But New Orleans is an incredible place. That's why so many jazz musicians come from here, because this environment is already so saturated with so many incredible musicians that it's everywhere. It's impossible to not hear it around when you're, 7 years old walking down Frenchman Street. And well, you're a great example. All his children are all musicians also. So it sort of it's a family tradition that, whatever your parents do, you kind of end up doing also, right? So, yeah.
have a comment more than anything. We've been coming here since the beginning when this was first made a national park. And it's just thrilling to see how it's grown. And it's so exciting also to know that this is being broadcast and more people know about the jazz club. 'Cause I'm not sure that many people even know in the States we have this one.
Yeah, we're sort of a national park under the radar. That people in New Orleans, I tell people I'm an intern at the jazz park, and they're like, "What? What even is that?" And you're getting, a first picture of what we do here in our mission. The federal government chose that a cultural, what would you say?
Cultural,
Thing.
historical.
That jazz is, it's an American art form, and that it needs to be preserved. And so, what better place to do it than in the place it was founded?
The American art form.
I'm just trying to remember the name of that quartet that did the vocal piece.
Oh, there were many Lamberts and Ross. Yeah, wait. Hendricks and Ross. Yeah. It's a trio. Wait, right? Lambert, Hendricks, and Ross. Yeah, but there are other like quartets and trios of a lot of vocalists. Yeah, that's the most famous one. Manhattan Transfer. There's another one. Yeah. No more questions? I think we'll get on with our set. After you've gone, there's no denying. After you've gone, there's no denying. You'll feel blue, you'll feel sad. You'll miss the dearest pal that you ever had. There'll come a time when you'll forget it. There'll come a time when you'll regret it. Someday, when you grow lonely, your heart will break like mine, and you'll want me only. After you've gone away. after you've gone, there's no denying you'll feel blue, you'll feel sad, you'll miss the dearest pal that you've ever had. There'll come a time, don't forget it, there'll come a time when you'll regret it. Someday, when you grow lonely, your heart will break like mine, and you'll want me only after you've gone away. Say after you've gone away. Thanks. Oh wow. That was After You've Gone, one of the oldest tunes that were in our set, written in 1918 by Turner Layton, and lyrics by Henry Creamer. Up next, we're going to do another tune written for an operetta, surprisingly, by Sigmund Romberg, with lyrics by Oscar Hammerstein in 1928, called Softly as in a Morning Sunrise. Softly as in a morning sunrise, the light aglow concealing into a newborn day. Flaming with all the glow of sunrise. And now we're really going to take it to the Latin sphere of the world and sing a tune. Well, I'll be singing the tune Garota de Ipanema, the girl from Ipanema, written by the wonderful Antonio Carlos Jobim and sung by Astrud Gilberto for the first time. This was a tune that is the most modern one, the ones we've done so far, as it was written in the 60s, late 50s, early 60s, 62. And is a real classic in, the one bossa nova tune that everybody knows. She's like, yes, it's the one bossa tune that everybody in the jazz world knows, and bossa nova is a sort of an extension of jazz that was born in Brazil, because of the sound waves, the radio waves trickling down through, from New Orleans through the Caribbean down to Brazil, and they were hearing this stuff on the radio, and then they incorporated it with their own, like cumbia, specific traditional Brazilian music, and bossa nova was formed, and Antonio Carlos Jobim, or Tom Jobim, is its peak and major exponent, I'd say, of the genre. So we're gonna do it.
Olha que coisa mais linda, mais cheia
chance for any more questions? No? This inspired a question? Yes.
A little bit about your guitar for those of us who don't know guitars.
Sure.
Wait.
Oh, okay. Thank you for asking. This is my newest one. I always wanted green. But I've been playing 7-string guitar for probably 40 years now. You know, it's a very, very unusual guitar, especially when I first started. There was only one guy that really pioneered 7-string jazz guitar, and that was George Van Epps. And at the time, you couldn't buy one. They stopped making it. It was one company that made it called the Gretsch Company. And so, make a long story short, I needed to have one built for me. So I found a luthier in New Orleans named Jimmy Foster, and he built my first 7-string guitar. And I figured if I'm gonna have it built, I want to have it built my way. So I gave him a design, and it had a much longer neck than a normal guitar. And he built a couple of guitars for me. Now this one was actually built by Jimmy passed away, but his understudy Louis DePaquet built this guitar for me, and it's a 7-string guitar. And yeah, it's got extra notes on the bottom, and the neck is a little longer than a normal guitar, and I'm pretty happy with it. So, I don't yeah. Well, the Van Epps tuning is you double the 5th string down an octave. I'll see if I demonstrate that.
You're getting a free masterclass right now.
Anyway, I like it. It fills out the guitar. And initially, I was getting hired to play guitar and bass at the same time. So we didn't have enough money to hire a bass player, so I would play bass notes. You know, so that was kind of putting people out of business.
We're gonna end it with a classic New Orleans tune that'll hopefully get you up dancing and ready to walk out this door and enjoy the French Quarter and get you in we'll leave you in a good mood, hopefully, with Bourbon Street Parade that we found out, or I just found out, was written actually by a jazz drummer named Paul Barberin in 1949. Who is from here? Mm-hmm. He is from here. And so he wrote a tune called Bourbon Street Parade, and you can walk down Bourbon Street and pretend that you're in 1949 and that this is playing. And it's got, obviously, the classic New Orleans street-style beat that Simon can show us all, and you can start it off, and they'll get a New Orleans street-style second-line education. coming to the New Orleans Jazz Museum, sponsored by the New Orleans Jazz Park. We have Stephen Masakowski, Carrie Lewis, Ranger Carrie Lewis, Simon Lott. My name is Saskia Walker, and thank you all so much for coming. I hope you enjoy this wonderful day. And yeah, go and see the museum and come visit our park at 916 North Peter Street, which is only a few blocks down that way, and we have shows. We've recently, in the last month, had both the Steve Mazakowski Trio and the Simon Lott Trio perform at our park, and so you have a lot of free music sponsored by the whole French Quarter Fest coming up soon. I hope that's why you are all here. Well, wonderful to see you all. Have a good day.